Hi, my name is Erin Farmer, and I am a 6th grade teacher at Manheim Central School District, currently in the middle school. This is my 15th year in the classroom. However, this semester I'm actually on sabbatical, so I'm taking a slight break here to start this STEM program. I'm choosing to start the STEM program because I've been in a science specialty for the past 5 years. Prior to that, I was trained as a generalist and taught language arts and math and social studies as well as science. I've always enjoyed science, and I really think with the push for the STEM initiative, I think this will be really beneficial to me, and I really enjoy it. In addition to my teaching duties at Manheim Central, I'm also a coach. I coach the distance kids for our track team, and I also help out with cross country. My husband volunteers with both of those sports as well, so we get to spend a lot of time watching kids either run in circles or down the trail. We are also big Orioles fans. As you can see in the one picture, we headed to an Orioles game the day of our wedding and hung out with the Oriole bird and watched an Orioles win. I'm starting a new endeavor this fall. We joined a bike team called Lank Bike, actually 717 Cycling. And this weekend, I'm going out of my comfort zone and doing my first bike race. It's a cyclocross race, so we'll see how that goes. Also in my free time, I like to basically do anything outside, especially in beautiful places. This summer I had the opportunity to do some hiking and backpacking in Crater Lake and in Oregon, and also with my husband in Glacier National Park. Basically, I enjoy doing anything where I'm outside and getting sweaty. So as long as it fits those two criteria, I'm generally good to go. Both the strategies for learning and the parts of assessment the 6 parts of assessment as learning have a variety of similarities and differences. I feel that both of these methods look to maximize student motivation and achievement by involving students from the beginning. Not only with the assessment as learning, where students are given a performance task, they're involved in that right away, and they know what is expected of them from the beginning, with the teacher giving them some background information about that performance task. With the assessment for learning, students have the first strategy is providing a clear and understandable vision of the learning target, so students clearly know what they need to be doing. Both of these methods also use a role of self-assessment throughout the process. With the assessment as learning, students really make sure that they are able to keep track of what they are supposed to be doing and collaborate with the team in order to do that. And assessment for learning, well, that's one of the main skills that are taught with the being able to reflect on what they're learning and how they're learning it. I believe that is strategy number 4 for the where am I now in this strategies for learning. Both of these strategies also contribute to a learning culture in the classroom, which I think is key here. I noticed that both of these articles had quotes from students, such as from instead of trying to get done just because of the points, I truly take my time on it and complete it and make sure I learn something. I think that's important because students often have a different motivation for completing assignments or not completing assignments. And with the Gupta article, one student said that when my AP chemistry teacher introduced the idea of assessment as learning to our class, I was both nervous and excited for the upcoming school year. I always thought of assessments as a culmination of learning, the dreaded unit and final examinations. After successfully completing AP chemistry, I can now say that these assessments were instrumental in developing a deep understanding of chemistry. So in both of these cases, students definitely were focused on the learning and not just what was happening in the class. Gupta defines the differences between these two as the advancement of and support of student learning and to gather data to guide instruction for the strategies for learning versus the opportunities for students to monitor their own learning with self-correction. With the assessment as learning, students are more self-guided through things and help each other in order to guide their own learning. While they do things as a group, they also have an opportunity to do things individually as well to show what they personally have learned. With assessment for learning, I felt like it was more feedback from the teacher, giving timely feedback throughout the process, versus the assessment as learning through their performance task. It was more of the self and group correction, and the teacher didn't seem to have as large of a role throughout that process. I also felt that the strategies for learning were more individualized for each student, and the assessment as learning was very centered on the group, with students working together on that performance task. In my science class, I used both of these methods, but not as effectively as I would like to because of the focus on grades. I have used many performance-based tasks in group projects, especially when it comes to experiments with the content that I'm teaching. Because that is with the group most of the time, sometimes it's hard to see where individual students are. This is why I like the assessment for learning. Ideally, I'd like to know where each student is. For example, can everyone in the group tell me why they're doing what they're doing in an experiment, or has one person just kind of taken over and given instructions to everyone else? I would also like to see more of a culture of learning in my classroom, but would definitely need the support of administration with changing how grades are earned in the class. I can see that both of these different strategies are clearly important in the classroom, and we'll be working on making sure my classroom uses both of them.